Even if you do them in a different order, I really don't care. Get them in there. This way you can have some semblance of repetition in there because aiming done differently every time winds up with a different impact point every time, no matter how you look at it. And no matter who you talk to, whatever, it's going to happen. Now, lately, there's been a lot of coaches, one or two in particular, who will tell you, all right, well, when you're aiming, line up everything and then bring it to your face, whatever. For people who have been shooting for a long time or people who are used to shooting 3D, that's great. The average person who doesn't shoot that often, which you say is about 75% of the people who go hunting.
I'd say more than that, actually.
Yeah, because they start like season opens September 1st. I'm practicing the week before it opens. So the system is not burned into their brain for what they're going to do. You brought up the point of the level. The level is very important because if your bow is off level, first of all, it doesn't do what people think. If the level is off, okay, it does one thing. And what it does is it actually increases or decreases, well, it'll take the gravity force and change it on the arrow. So if your bow's not level, say you're holding it like this, the arrow's going to fly straight. But if you tilt it like this, gravity force is pulling the arrow this way. And then as it flies, the gravity is going to impact it more. So it's going to start falling off, which changes your impact point. That's why getting it level is important. For the most part, if you're going to train yourself to do anything, is only look at the level once, unless you're holding for a long time. Look at the level once, because then you got to concentrate on putting everything else together. If you bounce your eye back and forth, the problem with that is most of the time you're going to wind up forgetting to pick a spot again, because you're going to come back, you're going to look, you're going to pick a spot. People who there's always the big thing: do I need a verifier? Do I need a clarifier? Verifier clears up the pin. A clarifier clears up the target. You need a verifier if you have a really hard time seeing the pin at all. Because if your eyesight is that bad and you're looking at your rack of pins or even a single pin, and all you see is in front of you because your eyesight just doesn't work that way, then you need to get that verifier. If your target is kind of blurry in hunting, you don't see a lot of scopes people shooting hunting, and you don't see a lot of lenses. But sometimes getting a clarifier will help you see the target better, so you can look at it. Fair warning: if y'all have never hunted with a clarifier or a verifier in your peep, don't go hunting when it's raining. Pray that you don't get dust or dirt inside there, because all of a sudden you're looking, you're like, why can't I see through my peep? Well, because there's a little tiny thing like this and it's sitting on top of your lens. So you got to be careful. It just adds an extra thing to it. People have a problem aiming if they're wearing glasses. The best one is, how many people do you know that their aim changes when they're shooting indoor all fall? They go outdoor and they think, I'm going to be cool like everybody else. I'm going to shoot with my sunglasses on. You ever see a problem with that? Because now all of a sudden, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but when I'm looking, I turn my whole head and I look straight through the peep, right? These people who put on sunglasses, they tend to put on sunglasses that for one reason or another, and I've seen $1,000 pair of sunglasses have the same problem, where there's a gap in the bridge of your nose for some reason, between the lens and the bridge of your nose. And what they wind up doing is they're turning like this, and instead of looking their head straight to the peep, they wind up turning their eye, and when their eye is looking, it's trying to sneak and aim through that little corner, that little gap. I don't wear sunglasses when I shoot for that reason. I may be blinded after I take my shots during a feeder shoot off, but at least I'm hitting the same place every time.